Yeah. What's up, good people? You are now listening to Brandon D's Where the Hoes At podcast, a show for leaders, losers, and late bloomers, and especially for the hoes. Humans overcoming struggles every day, and I'm your host, Brandon D. Thank you for joining me today. I'm really excited, guys. I am in Studio Connects Media. Yeah, right here in Lilburn, Georgia. Funny enough, I grew up in this area. I actually went to Lilburn Middle School right down the street. Literally like not even like a quarter of a mile from where I'm at right now. So this is really dope, man. I'm excited. Yo, this is season 3, guys. Season 3 is in full effect. And I was going to talk to you about Social Proof Podcast. I was just on Social Proof about 2 weeks ago, but my episode came out last week. We'll save that for the next episode. Today, I want to talk to you about something that's a little bit more current. You ever do something, and the second after you do it, you say to yourself, "Why did I do that?" Like in an emotional low, you just knew that I messed up. All right, so I told myself going into 2024. I'm not going to do any cursing off the stage, off the mic, on the mic, no cursing in 2024 because I want to learn the language of business. And in the language of business, profanity is not really used. I come from comedy where that's our love language, but I'm changing my speech pattern. However, in 2024, it's not 2024 yet. So there's only one way that I can express what I did. I fucked up. I did. My kids are listening, so I fucked up. So let me tell you what happened. I drove Uber all night. This was 3 days ago. I drove Uber, right? Like all night. Got done with Uber, went and donated plasma, right? I'm a part of the plasma ministry. Donated plasma. While I was donating, I did something different. I usually listen to a podcast or an audio book, but instead I was like, you know what? I got Netflix on my phone. Let me watch a little bit of Netflix. And I started watching The Flash. Now, I used to watch The Flash a lot. I used to binge on The Flash, but I don't watch it too much these days. But I had a moment where I was like, I want to watch The Flash. So I'm watching The Flash, and the episode is cool. It's about fatherhood. In the episode, there was a dad who was accused of a crime he didn't commit, and his whole motive of proving his innocence was so his son could see that he's not that guy, right? He's not the villain. So the Flash felt it in his heart. Let me help this guy. Let me help prove that he's not a villain because I feel like he didn't do the crime. Long story short, they proved that the dad didn't commit the crime. He loves his son. They walk off into the sunset. After the fact, the Flash is sitting there reminiscing about his dad, right? His dad passed away. So did mine. And he's just having a moment. Now, I didn't know that I was about to be triggered. I was about to be triggered, or I became triggered because I had this moment, this wave of emotions that hit me because it was a fatherhood theme. And I'm like, yo, here I am. I'm a dad. I'm a husband. And I'm donating plasma after driving Uber all night. It was just a wave of emotions hit me. Everything started coming to me. And I'm in the plasma spot. Like, oh my God, I'm about to cry, right? like, I can feel it. I'm looking around to see if anybody's looking at me because I know the waterworks are about to flow. So I'm in the plasma spot, right? I got blood leaking out of me. I'm like, hold it in. You can't let it go, right? And I'm thinking to myself, I said, self, I stay in a perpetual state of pain. Mind you, it's a pain that I caused from some of my own life decisions. So I'm having all these thoughts hit me all at once. It's just a flood of emotions. And I say to myself, I think you need to text your wife. You need to text your wife everything that you're feeling right now. Now, the cool thing about Android, they have this feature where you can send a message later. Like you can type it up, press schedule, and send it later. So I was typing the message. Once I got out of the plasma spot, and I said, I'm gonna send it at 2 a.m. when right when like she's asleep, so I don't have to talk about what I'm sending her. But then something said, no, don't send it to your wife. You can't have this conversation with her right now because she needs you to be strong right now. All right, cool. Then call a friend. And I'm asking myself, what friend can I call? In the moment, I didn't feel like I had any friends that I could call. There was nobody I felt like I could call. And in reflection later on, I figured out the reason I felt like I couldn't call a friend is because I feel like I'm the strong friend. And what does a strong friend look like? Calling other people when he's weak, when he's hurt, when he's vulnerable. So I didn't call a friend. So I said, all right, you need to talk to somebody right now. Who can you call? Who can you run to? Right? So I said, Coach Crump. Because I had just saw Coach Crump on Next Level Speakers Academy podcast. And he mentioned that he dealt with ego. And he even was driving Uber at one point, right? So who is Coach Crump? Coach Crump is a gentleman that's a part of Next Level Speakers Academy with Jeremy Anderson, E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, Inky Johnson. And Coach Crump is the president of the Speakers Academy. And he's a really, really solid dude, very spiritually inclined. He's the man's man. And I said, let me call this man's man and pour my heart out. He didn't answer. So once again, Android has a feature where you could just send an audio message right there in the text. So I sent an audio message, 2 minutes long. Not only did I send one, but I sent two. Not only did I send two, but I sent three. Just pouring my heart out. And like I'm crying through the things that I'm telling him, the things that I'm saying. And I'm just like, man, it's not a suicidal moment because that's not me. It's never been me. But I just knew I had to tell somebody something. I had to get it out of me. And then the second I finished the last audio and I sent it, I said, what did I just do? Right? It was one of those moments where you instantly felt embarrassed. Now, I don't know if I should have felt embarrassed, but I did. I'm like, 37-year-old man, I'm a husband, I'm a father, and here I am crying to another man. So it left me with a number of questions. First question. Again, why couldn't I call a friend? No, actually, first question. Why could I not tell my wife? Are men supposed to have those conversations with their wives? Like, how vulnerable is too vulnerable when it comes to a husband and a wife? Question number one. I don't have the answer, so I'm really asking these questions. Question number two, why could I not call a friend? Now, of course, I settled on the answer that I'm the strong friend, but that's just my opinion, right? I've dealt with depression since I was 19 years old. Matter of fact, right here in this small city of Liburn, I went to Parkview High School. I went to Berkmar my first 3 years. I went to Parkview my last year. So, like, this is my area. And right here in this area of Liburn, Georgia, I started battling depression at 18, 19 years old. But I've never brought anybody into it. I've just always dealt with my darkness, always dealt with my sadness by myself. But this was a moment when I looked to bring somebody into my darkness. Right after I sent the message to Coach Crump, I sent him a follow-up text, literally 30 seconds later, right? And the text was saying, do not listen to the audio. Because what I didn't do was ask permission to unload my baggage. Now, I don't know if that's proper protocol, but I feel like it was only fair that I asked his permission first. And I didn't do that. I just unloaded. And it's not his place to fix my emotional baggage. Question number 3. In those moments where we feel at our lowest, who do we go to? And again, it wasn't a suicidal moment. I understand if it's suicide, you call suicide prevention. Yes. But if it's just you're hurting, who do you call? Question number 4. As men, are we prepared? Are we suited for helping a friend that's in need? Like, is there some kind of training for a brother that's in need who just needs an ear? It's not to say that you got to be a counselor, but what is there? What are the resources? Those are some of the questions that I pose to you. I would love feedback. What are your thoughts on it? Again, I don't have the answers, but these are the real things that I'm curious about. I apologize to Coach Crump in that text, but I also want to do it right here. Coach Crump, hey, my bad, big dog. Right? That wasn't your place. That wasn't your place. And I felt so bad about it. And I don't even know if I'm supposed to. I don't know. But I do know that I'm going to get counseling now. I need therapy. There's a scene in Martin where Gina was telling him something, and they were actually at a counseling session. And he said, I need help. Help me. Right? One of my favorite scenes. I need help. I'm going to get it. So that's where I'm at, guys. Now, you know how these past year and a half, 2 years, I've never had an outro. I always say, I'm going to figure out my outro. I finally figured out my outro. All right, you ready? Here you go. I forgot it. What is it? Oh, yeah. Learn through the wins and losses of others, for they have laid the blueprint. Deal with your problems by becoming your own solution. You are now listening to Where the Hoes At, Brandon D's Where the Hoes At podcast. And I am Brandon D. Thank you for listening. That's episode 1.